Hi, this is Mike Dunfee with the Mike Dunfee Group and MD Property Management, based here in Long Beach, California. Today's topic, collecting rents. Besides thorough screening, proper rent collection technique may be the best way to prevent evictions and reduce turnover. Rent collection may seem like the most basic part of managing a property. It's the tenant's responsibility, even contractual obligation, to pay the rent. So many landlords make the mistake of just thinking they need to deposit the check and leave it up to the tenant. Being a landlord is a business, and tenants, they're our customer. I like to think of collecting rent as part of the landlord's job. Proper rent collection techniques help improve the tenant's customer experience, reducing turnover and delinquencies. So here's some tips on the best practices for rent collection. First thing I'd say is automate the process. Go electronic. And I don't mean have them deposit money in your bank electronically. I mean use a proper property management software, the proper platform, and do it the right way. Remember, you're trying to create a habit of making the tenant pay the rent before they pay anything else. So you'll want to make it easy on the tenant, and you also want to make the whole process seem very professional. You don't want it to be, you don't want to be like slip it under the door, hey, just get it to me when you can. If you don't take this seriously, you can't expect them to. You also want to make sure that you have a reliable record of it. That's another benefit of having it all automated through the proper software, is that if you do have to go to the judge, you're not showing your bank account that he paid, and you're not digging up some little handwritten scribbled receipt. It's a proper trust fund sort of, or a proper sort of a ledger that it can be seen when the money came in and that you have for the period of time you've been collecting rent. Also that you have all records in order as well. One thing we do is that we found really makes a big difference is send reminders. If they didn't pay on the first, we'll send them, hey, your rent's due. Come the 4th, most of our rents are late if they're not paid by the 5th. Come the 4th, the end of the day, we send them a text, hey, we haven't received your rent yet, just a reminder. And that helps some people that maybe are spacing out on it, that don't have it set on an automatic payment sort of thing. Or if they do and maybe it didn't go through, sometimes just things happen. So getting that on the 4th, that we find that they're very appreciative and they're scrambling around the 5th in order to not get that late payment. So the reminders have been a big thing that's helped us improve. So I recommend them. If they are late, you really want to stay on top of it. Whether it's you call them, you text them, you send them an email, you want to make sure communication is established and you find out why. And also recommend they have a reason, hey, their car broke down, there's something with their job or whatever the story is, get it in writing. Just as a matter of record, but if this turns into an eviction and 3 months later they're saying they didn't pay rent because the heat broke, and you have a note from them saying that it's because their car broke down, that might be a valuable piece of information to have. Also, don't be afraid to charge a late fee. It's not the money so much, is that it helps set as a priority that you get paid, that rent gets paid before the cable bill and maybe what other their gas or whatever it is, that makes sure that they make it a priority to pay you. Charging a late fee helps set that as a priority, helps lay this out as a business relationship, that you're not buddies, and they'll respect you for it in the long run. And if they happen to get in the rent without the late fee when it was supposed to be a late fee, and it wasn't something that you negotiated away, hey, that happens sometimes, but it wasn't that, and they don't pay, make sure you notify them in writing that they owe you that. Later on, if you don't do that, you can't just take it out of their deposit if that communication has not been established in writing. Also, if it goes past that and you need to post your 3-day notices, make sure you post all notices. You post them that they're proper. Go ahead, have your have your eviction attorney review them. You don't have to start paying them to review those notices. They'll give you guidance on that. You just want to make sure that all notices they're posted. You're prompt. They're done correctly, and you stay on top of it. think of it this way. If a tenant can't pay 1 month rent, what makes you think they can pay 2 months rent? And you're really not doing them a favor by letting it get bigger and bigger and worse. You're just, it's not helping. So I really encourage you that if it does go wrong, to stay on top of it. So don't be lazy about collecting rent. Don't just be a check casher and deposit and leave it up to your tenant. Participate. It's your job as a landlord, and you'll get better results. If you have a question about this topic or any other real estate related matter, please consider the Mike Dunfee Group your resource. Thank you.